Scott and just recorded.
Well, we're live.
Okay, hi. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Olga. How are you? Thanks
It's
so much for having me. Happy Thanksgiving to you
absolutely.
and your
Thank you for
family.
finding time. I know
No,
it's a busy holiday season upon us, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
no, happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We both work with physicians, healthcare providers, everyone who has an important essence of understanding malpractice. And I know that you are the expert. I would call you actually a celebrity of insurance because a lot of physicians know you by name. So that's kind of a big deal. And over the years of being in this industry, I heard a lot of great things about your company, about the things that you do for physicians and non physicians, helping now to decide a better quote, an option for malpractice company to work with. So we're here today to kind of give more detailed information to doctors about what you do, how you can help. And I do have some hot questions that I gathered over a couple of weeks as we were preparing for this doc talk. So Scott, please tell us what you do and how you can help doctors.
Sure. Again, thank you, Olga. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Paldy. I work for Risk Strategies. We are an independent, privately held insurance brokerage. We specialize in all lines of insurance. I particularly work for our national healthcare practice, and I specialize in medical malpractice insurance. And this is my 18th year in
Ooh.
doing medical malpractice insurance. We are the largest agent for a lot of the malpractice carriers in the market. So hopefully I can help and offer my guidance and expertise.
Absolutely. Well, when I was speaking to doctors who are in practice for many years as well, and then been going from carrier to carrier, a couple questions that I gathered that I think are important, even for those who are just starting out, even for those who are already in business and just looking to expand or add more providers. So the question is, how often should a physician, renew their look for a new company to build a relationship, to change malpractice carriers? How frequent should that process be set up?
Well, that's a great question. We typically market our clients every year. The market is always changing. Carriers' appetites tend to change. My advice to you is if you're a large practice, you should definitely be marketed every year. If you're a solo physician, if you've seen an increase, if suddenly you haven't been marketed over the last few years, you should definitely take a look and see what else is out there. I'm not saying you have to switch, but just to know what else is out there and available, is a good thing. The one thing I also would advise is, most brokers will market you if you are direct with a carrier, because a few carriers will allow you to be direct with them. You're probably losing money only because if you're, let's say a solo physician, you have a small premium, you may talk to the insurance carrier once or twice a year. We speak to the insurance carriers every single day. We have over $200 million in physician premiums. We have relationships that go back decades. These are the kind of things that a physician or physician group just doesn't have, and that's where the broker will add value.
Great point. I also got a question recently from a physicians who are expanding from regular care, right? They're primary care physicians, they're adding cosmetology, aesthesiology, and they're looking to expand. And they are thinking, well, do I need to be transparent with my insurance company? Do I need to report all these additional scopes that I'm providing? What is your feedback to those doctors?
I mean, absolutely. As the market has changed, doctors have been squeezed in reimbursement premiums. They're looking for ways to offset their revenue and to increase their revenue. A lot of them are doing cosmetic procedures. Most carriers have no issue with you doing cosmetic procedures as long as you're trained and it's not the majority of your practice. Most of the time, there won't be an increase in your premium. And I would absolutely tell the carrier what you were doing and how often you're doing it. God forbid you were to be sued for something you did related to cosmetics. If the carrier found out, obviously, if you were sued, they're going to defend the claim. The issue is that they're probably going to non-renew you for not disclosing that you were doing these procedures in the first place.
Exactly. It's all about protecting what we have today, right? Not avoiding the risks that are
definitely. Yeah, and it's not going to cost more money. So, why wouldn't you want to tell them? Now, if you're like, say, a family practice doctor that's doing, invasive procedures under sedation, then they're going to increase your premium because, that's typically the risk is higher. But if you're a family practice doctor that's just doing some Botox on the side, they're not going to increase your premium for that.
Okay. How about for the physicians who are recruiting constantly, hiring nurse practitioners, physician assistants, ancillary staff, right? That all required to have malpractice as well. What would be your recommendation as far as how many hours can they commit for the insurance coverage? Typically, these newcomers, they don't stay too long in the practice. They typically work from 20 to 30 to 40 hours. For a physician that is adding them to their group policy, they need to definitely maintain at least a part-time coverage for them. And is that something that can be changed over the year, or it's kind of locked in for the year? What's the process like?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the carrier, some carriers for larger groups will offer what's called a full-time equivalent. So that if you have, say, multiple nurse practitioners or PAs that are working a couple of hours a week, they will create this full-time equivalent. So you're not paying a full premium for every
Mhm.
single provider. Um, as not physicians, but providers come and go, you can easily remove them or take them off your policy or add them to your policy, and then you'll get reimbursed for the time that wasn't used.
Okay.
It's not overly difficult. It's just the credentialing piece and making sure that you submit applications. And then, of course, like I said, you can do full-time equivalents if you have a large enough group and if you have a large enough number of PAs and MPs.
Mhm. How about a background check? So this question comes up sometimes. I'm interviewing a physician that I'm hiring for the group, and the physician is not disclosing the fact that there were legal matters in that under that license, but in the past 10 years. Do you guys do the due diligence to investigate each applicant and their
Yep.
background before getting them quote?
Yes, I mean, what you can do if you're our client or another broker's clients, we can give you a release form that will allow you to get the claims history before you even interview a doctor. This way, you know exactly what's on the history, and then you understand that might impact your premium costs and what you're going to pay that physician or provider.
Got it.
Um,
All right.
and then there's also a database especially in New York, that you can go and look up if there's any kind of board actions or legal issues against that physician that we can provide.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Scott, I think we shared the very good information for our listeners. And if anyone is interested to reach out to Scott and schedule a time to speak, what is the best way to reach you?
You can either email me at spalde@risk-strategies.com, or my cell phone is 267-218-4536. Feel free to call me anytime.
All right, wonderful. Scott, thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy your family time, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Olga. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate the time.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
have a great day.